Okay, David, your box has arrived, so I'm going to go ahead and get it unboxed here so we can see how things look. Okay, very cool. All right, so let's take a close look here. Great. All right, so it looks like it arrived in good shape. Everything seems to be there. Your stem, crown seems to be intact. All right. Well, it's running. That's always a good sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the Timegrapher, kind of see how it is in its as-arrived state. Give it some power here. And then we're going to proceed and see how we look. Okay. All right. Well, we'll let that settle down just a little bit. So first thing, there's not a lot of power in the watch, so I don't expect the amplitude to be particularly high. What I'm really doing this for, what I'm really looking for, is the stability of the signal and how well it traces over time. You know, you've got some issues here, but that's why it's here for service. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's running. That's a plus. Take a close look at everything. Now we have it here on the bench. Yeah, so overall, condition-wise, your crystal looks good. Crystal looks good. Let me get you centered up here. Everything looks original. Looks like it's fairly untouched, which is good. We'll have some cleaning up to do. Your tachymeter bezel appears to have faded over the years, and your lume is a little bit rough, and you've lost some color on your indices. But overall, you know, I think the dial could go for a little bit of cleaning, but just very gentle. It looks like some of the dust from your paint on your indices has settled onto the dial, but that shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, so as an aftermarket bracelet, this is actually a asymmetric bracelet for more like a bullhead style, but they're cool. I like them. A fishbone style bracelet. Let's go ahead and get that taken apart here. Okay, so let's have a quick look at your movement. See if we can get this off without too much problem. Yeah. There we go. All right, so first thing is this movement has seen some water, and as has the case. So you've got quite a bit of damage here on your sealing surface of your case, a lot of pitting. Usually you see this in watches that have come from you know, sort of very damp environments, such as parts of the world like the Philippines or South America, where there's quite a bit of moisture. Now, you're rubbing a little bit here. It's not terrible. You can see there's some brassing here on the high spots of your movement. Your movement's very hazy. Again, has seen quite a bit of water over its life. Your mainspring arbors are, of course, in need of replacement. But it's running. Okay, so a couple things. Let's look at your seal. Yeah, that seal is pretty stiff and not correct for this watch. Looks like some sort of mark here in the back. Has some service marks from the past and a little bit of rust here against this surface. Okay, well, 1977, January 77. Okay, well, you know, you're gonna need a full service and some cleaning, but that's why you're here. Overall, you know, the movement doesn't have a ton of rust on it. Let's take out your movement ring here and see how that's doing. Watch has seen some water in the past, and you can tell that from the from this green on your oscillating weight. That's generally from moisture pulling out alloys from the weight. It's it's copper and other things that get pulled out. The weight itself looks a bit loose. Yeah. So that is definitely not held down very well. You may need a new oscillating weight bridge here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really loose. I may be able to tighten that up, but that may need to be replaced as well. That happens over time for sure. That's particularly bad. Okay. Well, overall, you know, it's certainly, they're all salvageable and they're all worth saving. There may be some parts that need to get taken care of that I can see straight away. At least you know, we've got some condition here. But it's intact and it's running, which is always a good sign. What I'd like to do is I'd like to know how you want to proceed with any sort of extra on your dial. So if you can, I know this is your watch, so you know it, but you know, certainly we can do things about these markers. Your hands, they look pretty good. I mean, you have loom issues. The loom is dark. It's been wet over time. There's some touch up that could get done on these hands. You know, your sweep second and your minute recording hand may have been painted in the past. I'm not sure. It doesn't quite look, I can't tell by just looking at it here, but it does look like they have been perhaps painted. Yeah, I can see some bubble here of paint. We can always take care of that. That's not an issue, but it is a bit more time to invest. You know, certainly you need new seals, and your crystal looks pretty good. That should be all right. All right, so here's what I propose. Couple things for you to let me know about. Hands, for sure. We can leave them as they are. Dial, I'm gonna, you know, just as a matter of course, I will clean the dial a little bit with some very, very non-invasive methods, just to sort of get the dust and things off. If you want me to reloom anything, let me know. If you want me to repaint anything, let me know. There will be, you had mentioned something about your crown. So that seems to be okay, that's intact. You certainly need a new seal, but overall that's in good shape. So crown and stem are there. It seems to go in a bit deeper than it should. It doesn't look quite correct, but that's okay. I think overall that's in good shape. Your quick date does change, so it's in the right position. Okay, so let me know how you'd like to proceed. Certainly we'll clean everything, we'll get everything looking new. We'll take all of this apart and make sure that your dial, your case is well sealed. You have a little chip here in the bottom, but overall, that's not a bad looking crystal. Yeah. Okay, so let me know what you want to do, how far you want me to go in, and certainly the movement service, the putting in the new bushings, the new jewels for the mainspring arbor port. But again, any cosmetic things, you let me know. All right, thank you very much.